popular cliche that people fail in life because of fear of failure. But you know what? Most people suffer more from fear of success. What if the business works? What if that one idea you've been thinking about is the idea that is going to revolutionize not only your life but the community in which you live? A lot of people are into that deceptive mindset to believe that the safer you play it, the safer will be the outcome of your life. In fact, that is why it is usually said a lot of people tiptoe through life only to arrive safely at death. You made it out of 400 million sperms. Think about those odds. In what other element of your life, whatever time in your existence, will you ever have those odds? So today I want to talk to you about the need for you to find a way to uncover your purpose and to start working on that. George Bernard Shaw, a popular Irish poet and critic who lived in the early 19th centuries, at the end of his life, while he was on his dying bed, they asked him, George, if you had the power to come back again, what would be your number one wish? And he said, I would love to come back as the man I never was. I would love to come back as the man I never was. And like him, I know many people, including you listening to me, always look back now wherever you are in your life and think there are a lot of things you could have done. You look back even if you are in the middle of your life now and you go, boy, I am living a life of quiet desperation, a life where I'm not taking risk, a life where I'm not really doing the things I believe deep in my heart that I was born to do. You are not alone. In fact, you are in the majority because many people are born, they live, they die without ever scraping 10% of their potential. And the big part of it is, yes, there is a popular cliche that people fail in life for fear because of fear of failure. But you know what? Most people suffer more from fear of success. What if it works? What if that business you've been holding back on, you've been trying to develop and you've been afraid to do, and you prefer to stick on your full-time, guaranteed and safe job? What if the business works? What if that one idea you've been thinking about is the idea that is going to revolutionize not only your life, but the community in which you live? You know, every human being every year has 4 ideas. One of which, if they focus on, work on persistently and develop, could make them financially free. A lot of people are into that deceptive mindset to believe that the safer you play it, the safer will be the outcome of your life. In fact, that is why it is usually said a lot of people tiptoe through life only to arrive safely at death. Because you know what? The one thing that is guaranteed for all of us is that we are not going to get out of here alive. In fact, you made it out of 400 million sperms. Think about those odds. In what other element of your life, whatever time in your existence, will you ever have those odds? So today I want to talk to you about the need for you to find a way to uncover your purpose and to start working on that. Hey guys, just a brief break from regular programming. You see, most human beings, if you really go deep into their heart's desire, they want 3 things. They want to live a life of growth and development in order to be relevant. They want to be able to build wealth and also leave behind a legacy that will last for perpetuity. In my Guarantee Your Legacy program, which is a custom designed program, I answer these 3 questions and more for you. I have limited availability on that program. It's an 8-week program whereby we meet once a week, one-on-one with me. In addition to that, I'll walk through the different critical things that you need to be able to grow as a person, to be able to become relevant, to be able to impact people in order to create a legacy. And in doing that, you can also build wealth. If you already have it, I can teach you how to protect it, preserve it, so that way it lasts for perpetuity. Don't hesitate. If you would like to learn more about that program, click on the link down in the description section of this video, and I sure will see you on the inside. Let's go back to the regular program. You know, I was talking to my little daughter because every morning when they go to school, I say a simple prayer upon their head. They come into my office where I'm sitting right now, and I put my hand upon their head and I say, Lord, protect them as they go to school. Bring them home safely. Bring them home 1% smarter than how they went to school. But most importantly, Father, open the eyes of their spirit to identify their gift and their purpose and give them the courage to pursue that. That is the prayer I say over their head every day. That is the prayer I'm also saying on my life, and that is the prayer I wish you can listen to, and I want to say it upon your life today. You know, when you are playing in the realm of your purpose, when you're working on your gift and what you're born to do, there is no competition. When you're working on your purpose, there is no day off because you don't feel like work. You don't feel tired. When you're working on your purpose, you never feel like you're going to end up miserable and frustrated. Because I am telling you, we live in a world today where we have been deceived to believe that true contentment and happiness in human life comes from things. Today, America has the highest amount of credit card debt, over 1 point something trillion dollars. People are spending credit cards, buying things that they don't need. I am human. Sometimes I do that. But over the last many years, I've been working on myself consciously, and I'm about 90% completely revolutionized. Now, I'm not saying those things are not important, but then what I'm saying is that people keep looking for happiness. People keep looking for contentment. People keep looking for satisfaction and the feeling of deep, deep contentment with their life in things that are outside of them. You know, the whole idea must be from the outside in. The whole idea must be dissuaded from the outside in into the inside out. Everything you want, everything you aspire in this life, everything you've been looking for is already within you. And let me explain that concept a little bit. I know somebody will come and tell me, but Gustav, if my desire is to become a football player, I'm 30 now. Of course, that is practically impossible, right? But what I'm saying is that you can use that desire to inspire other people to get into playing football earlier. The way I'm using my gift today, what I'm doing today is what I've always wanted to do all my life. But you know what? When I came to America at the age of 23, I felt, Gustav, you know what? Get a job, start working so that way you can help yourself and help your family. Fine. I get a job, a regular job. I start working as a CNA. Of course, I was still not satisfied. I went ahead and I became a licensed practical nurse. Even at that, I still wasn't satisfied. I knew there is something, there is a calling upon my life. I have to get there. I worked as a licensed practical nurse for many years. For about 6 years, I accumulated over $90,000 cash, and I went down to the University of California in Berkeley, and I did a graduate program in marketing and international business for 1 year. I finished from that program, and I went to Africa to do business with an uncle of mine, creating a company distributing natural health products. Now, why do I share this with you? Because I kept looking, right? I kept thinking there is something else that I need to do to start doing what I was born to do. That there is something else that will give me what I need to make me complete in order to start doing what I was born to do. What a mistake that was. I even came back from business in Africa 3 years later. I was bankrupt. I was finished. I filed for bankruptcy. I paid tens of thousands of dollars to the bankruptcy court. I foreclosed on 2 homes. I was completely in financial ruin. I had to rebuild my life all over. And I started all over. I got into the IT industry. Yet I was still looking. I was still believing that something else needs to happen for me to get on the path. You know, when I look at my life now, and I want to encourage you that the first thing you want to do is to uncover your purpose. And somebody will ask me, Gustav, how do I know my purpose? And by the way, I have a special program working only on teaching people how to uncover their purpose, identify their gift, apply your purpose and your gift to build a life of abundance, of wealth, and a great legacy. If you are interested in that program, I will leave a link down in the comment section. You can click on that link and you'll be able to get to reach out to us and we can have a conversation about that. But you know, when I look at my life right now and I tell myself, Gustav, what if you had started on the path of what you're doing 15 years ago in earnest? What if you weren't afraid? What if you had decided that you were going to invest in your gift and in your purpose? You know, one of the things I teach people to do is how to invest on the stock market, how to invest in all these great companies to make money and to get your money to work for you. But I will always tell everybody I come across, every client I coach, that the number one investment you have to make is in yourself. You are your number one asset. Think about it this way. Think about somebody like Dangote, who is the richest man out of Africa, or maybe Elon Musk, or Mark Zuckerberg. Name any of the entrepreneurs you think about in this world, or any of the successful people you think about in this world. Now you are going to invest money in their companies to make money. What do you think the people who created those companies are making? How did you think they came about creating those companies in the first place? Because they decided to uncover their purpose and work on it diligently, tirelessly, till they uncover something special about it. So if there's any one thing I want to encourage you in this video, is to realize that there is something that you have which is unique. You were born to deliver on a mission that only you can deliver. Put a demand on yourself. Ask yourself, what is it that I am born to do? Keep asking that question until you get an answer. And the reason why is because until you can uncover your purpose and work on your purpose diligently, you'll never find true contentment in life. You'll never find true happiness in life. Trust me, happiness, contentment, and a sense of accomplishment with your life will never lie outside of what you believe deep in your heart is what you were born to deliver. I know people who've gone ahead to rise in their careers to the top of the level in their industry, and then they made a turn and came to start finding and working on their purpose. Now, I'm not saying drop everything you're doing to go start looking and identifying and chasing your purpose. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that whatever it is that you're doing with your life right now, find a way to identify your purpose and make sure you're working in tandem until your purpose finally aligns with your life. Because when you're able to walk in your purpose, a 24-hour day becomes very short. You feel the sense of urgency. You feel like there is no more time for you to fool around and you want to deliver on that mission. You see, the great Dennis Kimbrough is a great professor of marketing and business out in one of the historically black colleges in Atlanta. I forget the name of the college. He said something which is important. That if you want to identify your purpose, take your skills. What skills do you have? 1. What is your passion? 2. And then think about all the businesses that needs your skill and passion combined and how you can help them. That is how you leverage your purpose to deliver a lot of value for your life. In my own case, it was simple. I have a lot of skills in communication and being able to bring the value proposition of anything to the limelight. And how did I acquire those skills? I acquired a lot of those skills working on jobs that permitted me to work in sales. When I went back to Africa, I worked in the company as a marketing manager. I traveled all over Africa trying to put the value of the products out in front of people. I've worked for the top technology companies as a sales cloud engineer, explaining to clients why it is important for them to leverage the company's cloud system to accelerate growth in their business and build profits. Now that is a skill I have developed. Now my passion and my gift is the ability to take that skill and transfer it to apply in any setup, including convincing you, going past your mind to make you believe that you must find your purpose and deliver on it. And today I've put that skill, I've put together my passion for helping people learn how to become better versions of themselves, how to grow, how to build wealth, and how to build a legacy. I've put the two together and I'm building a massive business with that. I hope this resonates with you. I hope this goes past your mind and touches your heart directly. Because if you're listening to me, especially if you're an immigrant in America or in Canada or in Europe, you of course aspire, like most immigrants aspire, on building a massive life. Not only building a massive life, but transforming your home of birth into a place as beautiful as your adopted home. I know a lot of people talk about transforming Africa to look like America and to have all the progress and aspirations of some of these great nations. You can only do that if you work on your purpose. When I look at the great nation of America, I look at all the great companies in this country, I look at the people who shaped the history of this country. They never worked on things that were not passionate. They never worked on things they were not born to do. They never worked on things that were not purposeful in their living. They always worked on the things that gave them complete meaning to their life, and by extension, gave a lot of meaning to other people's lives. So hey, I hope to see you in the next video. But before then, If you are interested in having a one-on-one chat with me, because a lot of people put comments, a lot of people reach out to me in my inbox asking questions and want to talk to me, I will leave a link down in the description of this video. Click on that link, book an appointment for a very small fee, and we'll be able to have a one-on-one conversation for 30 minutes. And trust me, all of this by the end of this year, which is in the next 1 month, by December 31st, my fees are going to change for 2025. So take advantage of this moment and let's have a conversation. Until the next video, I will see you at the top. Be well, be blessed, and by all means, never stop being a blessing to somebody. Bye for now.